And welcome to the
third edition.
Learning Love Together.
Learning Love Together.
We
I'm
have
supposed to sing it. Learning Love Together.
we have our wonderful guests today, the
Well, let them
holders.
introduce themselves. Because we have a special day.
Yeah, it is a special day for a special woman in my life.
Oh,
This is my wife.
yes, sir.
She's celebrating a special day today.
Her 21st birthday.
21st birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, Cher, I love you very much, Cher. You're the love of my life, and it is always good to being married to a wonderful wife, compassionate, love, caring, giving. That's who she is, and I could say that again. Two strangers from different areas because we didn't grow up together, but try to make a wonderful life together.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No.
Well, how about you tell us who you are and how long you've been together?
Okay.
And then the first question is, how did you meet?
Okay.
Who wants to
Okay.
answer that?
I'm going to start. My name is Ulrich. Ulrich spells ULRIC. Last name Holder. We were together. I know this wonderful lady of mine that we married for. Will be 33 years and a few more days from now, but total of 36 years. We have met, knowing each other. We have 4 wonderful sons.
You have 4 boys?
Yes, and we have 8 grands. 3 of the sons is married, and they are the ones that who give us the 8 kids. One is not as yet, but
How old is your son that's not married?
He'll be 44 this year.
See, what order?
He's second.
Second to the oldest?
Yeah. So that's what it is. I'm gonna let my wife say something about.
Did you say where y'all met?
No, I did not say that.
Let's let Miss Sharon talk.
Okay, I let her take that part.
Okay, well, my name is Sharon. We met Rick's cousin introduced us. I used to work with her, and she introduced me to him in Irvington, New Jersey, 1983. Yes, and
Were you interested at first? Like, who pursued who? Or was it love at first sight, or how did that work out?
Actually, to be honest, he didn't look like my type. We always have a certain type, be more tall and dark and handsome and whatever. But he wasn't tall. He was a little on the slim side, and
So how did he get you? How did he reel you in?
well, it was his ready. Okay, it was actually his cousin that introduced me to him. Her and I worked together at the hospital. When I first met him, I thought she was trying to get him a green card. But we went out a couple of times. He was a gentleman, and I mean, it took a little while. I just, he was different from all the rest of the people that I knew.
How long did you date before you got engaged and then married?
We got engaged 2 years after we met, and
We got engaged in
85,
married in
86.
So how was it in New Jersey in the 80s?
Oh man, things was to me as a newcomer to the United States, living like 3 years in this country. I could see the changes of people lifestyle, people style of the upscale, and then the neighborhoods. The white folks started moved out, and the black folks come in. And as we come in, I think exactly that we did not. I don't want to say all, but most people did not appreciate moving into a decent neighborhood that might looks better and better for themselves and their kids. So that was some of the changes I see, and there was in certain areas you as colored folks were not allowed to go in there at certain times in the night.
In the 80s?
Yeah,
Wow.
if the police see you passing through there, they will pull you over and ask you exactly where you're coming from or where are you going.
What's
But-
crazy, growing up in the South, you would think that like Jim Crow, all that was in the South, and
They
up
call it
north
Jim
it was
Crow.
no racism and stuff like that. So it's interesting hearing that. Like I never knew that. I always thought that racism and a lot of that,
Was just in the South.
yes, was just in the South.
It was
Because
up
people
north.
left the South to go north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Away
never
from it.
experienced any of it.
I
But I know my mother did, and even to this day, my nephew was in Philly, and he has a Caucasian girlfriend, and they stopped him. This was
She's in
months
the
ago.
car.
So I mean, it's still race. You know, it's still there. It's not. It hasn't gone. You know, it's a little better, but I never experienced anything. You know, I never had a problem in school or anything. And we lived in Montclair, which was supposed to be upper class. You know. But there was a lot of black folk there. They to this day they still trying to get rid of all the black people out of Montclair. But it's not gonna happen.
So did you have your boys there or here?
I had two. Before I came to live in the United States, I had two sons back home, and
Yeah, our
In the
family
end,
blended, so
I had two sons back.
I had
there.
two and he had two. So we don't have any ourselves. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have any more kids.
So how many were in the house? Did your boys come here?
Yes, I think it was 2 years after, 2 or 3 years after that, I brought my sons, and they finished school here.
Mm.
Both of them finished, graduated from Montclair High School, and they make a decision to join the military.
They were 12 and 14 when
12,
they came.
yeah,
So y'all had all 4 boys in the house at once.
yes.
How was that blending the family
Oh,
and co-parenting?
oh, that's
Was
a
it challenging?
that's what I'm saying. It's a culture shock, you know, because kids are from where I come from is where I grew up is like every individual neighbors is a parent for
Oh, the
them.
village.
Yeah,
the village
it's
area,
the village.
okay.
And then when it came here, it's like, this is all different. What is, you know, it's like you just take a person out from the comfort zone and put them into an uncomfort zone, and there's just, what's going on there? But I'm thankful for a lot of things that they were already was grounded, disciplining themselves, and conduct themselves the right way. So when it came here, they was respectful, and a lot of things they may not agree with, but they still had that respect and continue going on, you know. But they made it out. They made it out. That was a plus for that.
So you touched on their challenges coming to the
Yes.
United States, but what about
How was it for you?
for you
Now,
two?
how old were they when they
12
came
and
into your
14.
So how was the transition for you?
Or what tips can you give us co-parenting?
Well, okay, so we learned a lot. In hindsight, when you look back and you see things could have been done better or differently. As a parent, though, there's no book. It's trial and error.
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do is communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Try to be on the same page as far as discipline. It didn't quite work that way in our house, but you had one person that worked. Well, I worked too, but there was one disciplinarian when there should have really been two.
Who was that?
Me. But I mean, it worked out okay. Like I said, when you look back, you know, there are some things that, but it's always the case. Like I said, there's no book to tell you how, you know, what you should do, what's right and wrong. You just do the best you can.
Yeah. Co-parenting is touchy.
Well, you know, Jerry has 2 boys,
Mhm.
and we don't have any kids together. I don't have any kids, so when I came into their lives, they were 10 and 14. So it's still, I'm still learning. You know, I don't have any kids, so sometimes I feel a little I don't know what's the right word to say. Sometimes I feel bad, you know, like I want to say, you know, hey, the little one is getting on my nerves, you know, like because I'm not used to having kids around. But I feel like sometimes I don't know if that's okay to say, but I have expressed that, and Jerry said, I understand, I get it, you know. So he's been very understanding because it's a transition for both of us, because they've been in his life, you know, but it's new for me. So I guess we're asking for like some tips to try to.
But you just keep the communication. You just have to talk. You just have to talk it out. I have to say that being me, well, I was a disciplinarian, and it wasn't by choice. Rick was like a softie. So
that's how the dads are.
But
right?
then what I did wrong was, okay, so I ended up disciplining everybody, but I wouldn't let him discipline mine, and that's where the problem was. That's where the problem was. That's where the problem came in.
So him being a softie, will he discipline yours?
But I wouldn't let him. And then he didn't put his foot down.
So it'll cause turmoil when he disciplined.
Well, he didn't. He just didn't.
Oh, okay.
He just didn't.
And you wanted him to, or you didn't want him to?
I didn't, because I would call myself protecting them, and you know I was overprotective.
So how did that make you feel in that situation?
Well,
you don't even recall it.
You know.
I'm sure he remembers.
Some things you have to because the what I have learned as a young man coming up and traveled and see things differently, it bothers you sometimes, but then you have to know when not to let it bother you, that it'll stop you from being the person who you are. So you have to learn to look at things, treat everyone with respect, give everyone their space to grow. Just give them the space, and as you give them the space, more sooner or later, because it might be being a teenager, become a young adult or older person, they will go back and reflect on some of the things that you as the older one is trying to teach them what it is when they get out here, and they will say, oh, I can't remember when I was X amount of years old, this was said to me, and I did not take heed of that. So it's I says again, it's two strangers with different upbringing.
Yeah. And
for you to put the upbringing together, as it says, is an understanding. As it says, communicating. Communication is the best thing you do. And okay, go ahead. You know you want to say something.
But see, the problem was that Rick was not a communicator, and he didn't like to argue. He didn't talk. So that was our problem. That was the biggest problem, because he would not talk. He don't like to argue. He don't like, conflict. So he would just,
keep his hands off.
Yeah.
How old were your boys
when they came?
When you guys got together?
Well, they're all 2 years apart. So 12, 14, 16, and the oldest was 18. And I think Kellen wasn't there when they came. He was in the Navy.
Kellen joined the Navy, I think about a year or so after they came.
Did the boys have a good relationship with each other?
For the most part,
That makes it
some of them didn't get along. And we didn't find that out till later. I didn't find out till later what was going on. Nobody, they didn't tell you anything. Everybody knew but me. Rick, he didn't know either.
So Rick, you touched on coming from where you're from, but you didn't state where you from.
Oh yeah.
And when you come to the United States, and how long? What?
Well, I was born in it was British Guyana in South America. It was British. I was born under the monarchy rule of England, and became independent in 1966. I lived my country as a young man in 1972. I leave Guyana, and I was a merchant. I used to work on merchant shipping.
Oh, okay.
So we used to travel from country, and
But you came to the U.S. when?
that was the very first time we went
What year?
from Guyana the same year,
What, in 72?
1972.
When you?
I'm speaking.
We don't need
first
the
time-
whole. We don't need to be here all night long. We don't need the whole
Okay.
history.
I can't.
When you come to live permanently?
Oh, permanently I came to
Yeah.
live. Permanently I came to live in the United States from Italy,
What year?
1983. From
The
Italy.
same year he got here,
Yes.
thinking, and that's why I thought he just wanted to read.
Oh, I see you met him. Y'all got together the
No,
same year?
Same year, because that year I had but people don't understand this, that I had visa to live in the United States when I came.
So
Permanently.
how long was your sister here? Because she
My
met
sis-
through your sister or your
No.
cousin?
No, cousin.
Oh, okay. How long was your cousin here?
They were here long before I get here.
Long time.
Oh, okay.
They came here in 1969.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they came 1969. The one, the cousin that she's talking about, not cousin that he passed, his wife, she used to live in England
Okay.
before they came to the United States. Yeah.
So traveling and seeing a lot of the world, like on those ships in those times, what made you stay
Well,
in the United States?
Well, you see, you got to remember that when you come from what we said, undeveloped country, like Guyana doesn't have, the opportunity to grow, to grow yourself. And I said, well, financially growing, I had to make a decision, I had to make a choice. Either I had boys to take care of, boys growing up, and the father is not there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a, more sooner than later as it get older, it's going to be a little problem. It says, well, why are you trying to tell me something and you're not a part of my life? You see, so that's the part that's the part that I was taught, because come from a home where not 10 of us in one home and 2 parents. So you understand what it's all about. You understand all that was all about. So came to the United States. So I came to the United States, and and that's how
You
it
had
works.
family, but you had a lot of family here. That's why you ended up here.
Yeah, that's true.
And the opportunity.
That too.
Yes, sir.
But he would tell you the whole dissertation.
It's
No, but
okay.
he had a lot of their first cousins, right?
First
That
cousins.
he was close with.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Guyana. So he was in New York for a spell, right?
Yeah, I was in Brooklyn for 2 weeks.
That long?
2 weeks. I could not have lived in Brooklyn.
It's too busy.
So what brought you guys to Texas? I mean, Georgia. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well, let me tell the story because it'd be shorter. So we'd always talked about moving south. And originally I wanted to go to North Carolina. But I guess it gets too cold there for him. So with him driving tractor trailer, and in New Jersey, it was always a problem where he's going to park this when he wanted to come home. So I had friends here that I had been to Smyrna a couple of times, and that I used to work with, and I had come to visit her, and it seemed like a nice place. So we gave up our place. I was with my mother, and he was driving, usually months at a time. He would come home. He would be gone for a month and come home for a couple of days, So I said, it's time to go. And I gave him a choice. It was either, I would let him pick the place. Because I always pick the places where we live. I thought it would be nice to let him pick the place, right? So his choices was Texas, Mississippi, and Alabama. I said no, no, and no.
Wait, I thought you was gonna let him pick.
I did, Jerry. I tried to give him a chance. I gave him a chance. I said, no, let's try this again. How about Georgia or Florida? And we had decided on Georgia.
So how long have you guys been here?
Almost 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So what? All the kids gone? It was empty nest, or?
Yeah, they were gone. Everybody was gone.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was gone.
Do they come to visit often, or when's the last time?
Not as often as I would like. But we were in Patterson, they came to visit us there. When we lived in Smyrna, Dimitri came, my mother came, my sister came. That's about it. But there's 2 boys in the military, so it's hard for them to visit. back and forth to Iraq and Afghanistan, so they didn't come as much as we would like them, to come.
So you guys dated for 2 years, then got engaged and married the third year, right? So
It was more off and on. It was more. It wasn't. I wouldn't say dating. We just, we went out a couple times, but, I was still like he. He wasn't 6 feet. And I liked him tall, and he was kind of thin, but he was a nice guy. He was a really nice guy. So
He won you over.
yeah.
So what do you think were the hardest years of marriage? Like when you first got married, the first few years, or later?
The first few, because the lack of communication, you cannot survive without communicating. You can't. It's impossible.
So what was the difference between when y'all was married and before y'all got married? Like you say, communication, was it not there even when y'all was dating? Or
But it wasn't that, didn't seem that important, because he lived somewhere else, and when you saw each other, you went out or whatever, and so it didn't seem like a problem. But when you get married and you have issues in front of you, kids and bills and all that other stuff, you need to talk.
So the kids made it a little tougher, you say, on y'all marriage, or?
I don't think so.
No, because I think what exactly happened that she works, I work. I was doing actually 2 jobs, full-time and a part-time, and it's kind of it's when you work a lot, it's kind of you have to take that kind of step back, but then you have to remember exactly that you have another person in your life, and you got kids. If you don't, they're forced. The job could let you go, but your family is come first. So that exactly was kind of it's kind of tiresome for me to be truthful, and sometimes I don't want to confront the problem at the present time.
Yeah, it's like that balance of providing and being at home or spending time with your loved ones.
And see, actually, the first 2 years, so if we only had the 2 boys, so it wasn't 4, and so like I said, I think the first 2 were, and the problem was too, like I said, the biggest thing was lack of communication.
Wait a minute, you say the first 2 years it was only his 2 boys?
No, they weren't here yet.
Oh, okay.
So the first 2 years of marriage, it was just yours.
Yeah.
So how was it when he was always working?
I worked too, so I don't think it was the problem of working. It was the lack of
communication.
That was the biggest problem.
So
Well, you're long-winded, so.
But he is now because I forced it out of him.
Oh,
I made him. Yeah, I had to bring it out because I said, "Listen, you got to talk to me."
Yeah.
Even sometime now, I'll be talking and he just be looking at me like I got 4 heads, and I'm waiting for him to say something. I don't know if it's a man, like some men. I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just we're different.
Babe, do I have a problem communicating?
Female, so.
Oh, that's a real question?
Yeah.
Ain't we sharing?
That's right.
I tell Jerry he can talk about everything except for the relationship. Like he can talk. We do the blogs, talk to everybody, but when it comes time to talk about like real issues and stuff, then he doesn't want to talk.
See that I don't know. It's a man thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a man thing.
Talk about
Because
everything.
but I make him, and so even now sometimes I have to. He'll have the phone like I just look at him like put the phone down, or if we're in there, turn the TV off. I mean, I need your undivided attention, and I need some response. Or else I'm gonna make the decision. You're not gonna like it. Simple as that.
So,
and I try to include. I really, really try to get him to participate. Okay, it's an ongoing thing.
So Rick, is it some problems you don't care about that you don't care to voice your opinion, or is it just what is it?
So, as men, we know how to pick our battles. We know what to talk about, when to into certain things, and certain things we don't. we just says, well, you know,
And that's your story. You sticking to it.
well, I'm just saying, you know, and it might not be the right thing to do, but sometimes, you know, we have to learn to take it in, and then exactly filter it before saying what has
It's a
to be said.
process.
And
Miss
I
Sharon.
got your process. You got about 5 minutes to You got about 5 minutes to process it. Because, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filter it.
I feel 'em.
No
Yes.
time for no filter.
Yes.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yes, yeah, you have to filter it out. Because
Sometimes you gotta filter it out. It's okay.
All right, but how much time do you need?
you see,
But I guess you know definitely a difference, male, female, the way we think, and we need some answers now. Listen to this. How about this? How about you realizing that we've already been dealing with the situation, so then when we come to you, we need help or we need answers. Yeah, and we've already been going back and forth with it amongst ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
We deal with this every day. So when we come to you and we need some help.
Okay.
And we're already tired and you know, we've run out of patience. So now you want to filter. Your filter may take a week. Your filter may take 24, 48 hours. And I'm like at my wit's end already, and I need your help now.
No, I
It
get
seems
it.
like and I'll, since you definitely have more years under the belt, it seems like as wives, we have to balance letting them be men and like not stepping on their toes, like the decisions. Like let's say something's broken in the house, and we can easily go get it fixed or call somebody, but we defer to you guys, like, hey, babe, this is broken. Can you take care of it? But then they're filtering and, you know, and it takes a while. So it's like a balance. Like, how do you balance, and how did you learn to balance letting him, like, take the lead or whatever before you?
But
it seems like
he doesn't take the lead. I've always taken the lead. You know,
You're
because
like the administrator.
we're nurturers and we're full-time mothers and wives and if you have to work and you have to make sure you know we're the glue.
Right.
So the glue can't get. You got to make sure the glue is sticking everything together. You know, and I would love for him to take the lead. I have tried to get him to take the lead, but he's so used to not taking the lead. It's been so long that like you got to choose your battle. So I just choose not to. You know, and
Most of the time, we don't step in because y'all know best.
I wouldn't say that, but we just get things done.
That's what we talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
But don't you think we need some help? We would like some help sometime, you know.
but you know what the difference. You know what the difference. But my brother here and what you guys says is that when you guys roll to the left, we says okay, you go to the left, you go to the left. Then you're gonna stay to the left, then you're gonna come to the center, and you come to the center. Then you're gonna go to the right, then you're gonna go to the right. So now the question we ask is, well, okay, does it work that way? Understand what you're doing, but why don't you? We always try to find solutions to the problem. That's who we are as men. We always try to find solution to the problem.
But you keep it to yourself.
Yes, because sometimes people don't know, sometimes you got to know when to ask and when not to ask.
He choosing his battles.
You see,
wisely.
you have to know when
Because you don't like confrontation.
you have to know when to and when not to. When to step in and when not to step in.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Me?
Yeah, being married. How long did it
Oh.
take you to figure that out?
Well,
That was from day one. That's why the lack of communication was there. Because
I kind of get what he's saying. Like,
Mhm,
sometimes, like, I'm having trouble at work.
mhm,
Like, work is a huge struggle for me.
mhm.
And, like, I'll call him on my lunch break or something, and I just want to vent.
Right.
But men want to solve problems. So he's trying to tell me, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. But that's not what I want to hear. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like,
Yes,
I don't want
okay.
you to fix it. I just want you to listen to me vent. So I guess I guess along with what you're saying, men are problem solvers and you're trying to figure out how to fix it, but sometimes we don't need you to fix it. We just need you to listen and not tell me what I'm doing wrong, you know? So
Now he's good for that. Like you said, we just want to vent. So sometimes I get mad at him because I'll be saying something and I'm just talking.
right.
And I just want you to listen. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Because you're going to tell me to calm down. I don't want to hear that. Right now, I need to get...
That's the worst thing to say to a woman.
Yeah,
calm down.
No.
Those are fighting words.
So what should the man do in that situation? When
Listen.
Just listen. Just listen.
Be quiet.
can we get a cue or something to know when?
But I'm just telling you now. So you got the cue.
No, that's not fair.
I think you should assume, like, if we're just telling you about stuff, first assume we're just venting. Just don't say nothing.
No,
Or you could ask.
you,
So are you just venting, or do you want? You could ask.
Yeah, that might be the best thing to do.
And I'll
Because,
say, no, I'm just
yeah.
venting, babe. Just venting.
Yeah.
well, you see, that's what it says again. There's two imperfect people
Right.
trying to form a very we call it a perfect union in this life, because you see it's different, because if you see, it's that's what it says again. We ask ourselves, oh well, what is going on here? That's the very first thing when you start, first thing you ask yourself, what's going on? That's the first thing coming to mind. What's going on next? What is?
But you don't say that though.
No, but I
It's in your mind. See, that's the problem. It's in your head, it's in your mind, but you don't speak it. So, because like she said, okay, so if I'm upset, first thing you should do is come and put your arm around me. And that's the first thing you should do. And
Okay.
ask questions.
We taking notes. What's next?
That's it. Just ask questions. You're all right with, what happened? Tell me what happened or what. Don't start telling me, give me advice. I don't want to hear that.
Say, what can I do?
You just need, first of all, to, if,
Touch
sometimes when you're real quiet, I'll ask you, you okay? I ask questions, don't I? You okay?
Yeah,
you all right?
You do.
And that's what you should do. Ask questions. Don't start, well, I'm like, okay. I'm shutting you off, because,
So y'all been doing this for a long time. So, I mean, y'all going back and forth, but y'all been doing something right all this time to be together for so long.
well, let me tell you, you know where the balance is? Almighty.
Yeah.
God Almighty.
So putting God first is what's keeping.
That's the only thing.
Don't say it like that, Miss Sharon.
It's the honest, the goodness truth, though, because God will give you peace. The peace you get from Him, the world can't give it to you, and they can't take it away.
Yes.
So even though, the peace that He give you will bridle that tongue, because you may want to say something that is hurtful or that you can't take back. Something you may regret, but the peace He gives you bridles that tongue. The knowledge you get. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You gotta stay in the Word. I'm gonna tell you, that's the honest truth. We separated for lack of communication.
What year was that? How many years in?
The same year.
Not the same year.
Oh, at the beginning.
Well, yeah, the first couple of years. The first couple of years. Because I couldn't even talk, I couldn't get him to argue, I couldn't get him to do nothing.
How'd
He
you
just sit there
guys?
looking at me.
How'd you work through that? Did you go to counseling, or did you
No,
decide?
the day I had the car packed up and pulling out the driveway, he wants to go to a marriage counselor. Duh, it's a little too late now. Because half my stuff was already on the way to Florida.
Did you go?
I did,
Oh, okay.
for 5 months
To counseling or to Florida?
to Florida.
So.
Oh, I was talking about counseling.
No. We never got there because I was on my way out the driveway.
So what was it that made you two come back together?
Almighty God.
But I get it. But like.
So let me tell you what happened. I was in Florida, and I worked for a while, working for the agency, and then there was no work. I could have taken a job which paid $5 an hour less than I was making with the agency. That wasn't gonna work. So one day I was sitting in my living room and I just threw up my hands and I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And I heard a voice say, go home. Now we had been talking, but he said he wasn't gonna take me back. But I knew God said go home, I wasn't worried about it. I called him and I told him I'm coming back. And I'm sending some stuff up. You go down to what's name and pick it up. And that's what he did. And that's
Best decision of your life, huh?
I would say the best is, of
both of our
Both.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cannot
Because
be.
it's
Can
been
be.
uphill ever since. Yeah. It's been uphill ever since. So I mean that's the best advice I can give you is a relationship with God. That's the only way you're gonna make it. It's the only way you're gonna make it. Because every day is a challenge.
Mhm.
And even to this day, I might be angry with him, but he may not know it. Usually I just go up in my room and shut the door, stay up there for a little while, sleep it off, whatever. But it's every day is, it's been every day since it's been uphill.
So, what advice would you have for newlyweds like us? Put God first, and then what?
Talk to each other.
Communication.
That's the biggest thing. Communication. You have to. You have to.
So, what did you guys do to like keep the romance alive in those first years? Like, know you had the boys, but how did you make time to date and keep that spark there?
Well, when you have kids, it's hard.
that's
It's hard.
that's a challenge.
You just
that's a
you
challenge.
work, you take care of the kids. You
Mhm.
work, you take care of the kids. Every year when the kids got out of school, we always went on vacation,
Mhm.
and that was once a year. So, but other than that, you just work and took care of the kids. When you have children in the house, it's kind of hard.
That was our main priority was
Yeah.
the home. Make sure that everybody gets something. And, try to keep the home as peacefully as you can and as much as you can. But it was always a challenge. Time for each other was like, oh, well,
You see, the kids are your it's like what keeps you united, or
Yeah.
like the bond.
Yeah, because like I said, it's all about the kids, and whatever you're doing for the kids. You're making sure that they have a good life, a happy life, that they have memories and things like that. So we had a lot of cookouts. We used to have a lot of fun. We used to kids, but the kids was us.
But you guys been together 33 years, and so you didn't have that long with the boys in the house, right?
yes.
How long
after-
was the empty nest?
Not about 2000.
But you see, but there was always kids.
There was kids.
Somebody,
grandbaby.
Yeah.
we always took vacations with somebody's kids.
Mhm.
When we didn't have ours, we took our nieces and nephews on vacation with us. Our anniversary and my birthday we always had kids.
But you guys are retired now, so just
Mhm.
traveling a lot, living the life.
Well, we was
And guess
since-
where we're going? Visit the kids.
yeah.
But see, the family, to me, family's everything. Family's everything. So, whatever I do, I gotta see family, be around family at some point in time. Yeah. Family is everything.
But just forgive. Another thing too is very important too. You gotta remember this again. Forgiveness is the best thing you could have for each other.
That's important.
Always.
And the forgiveness is for you.
It's for,
It's
not
not
for
for the
that
other
person.
person. It's for you to be able to move
Mhm.
on. Because
Yeah.
if you harboring any ill
Yeah.
feelings or
It's not gonna.
you're
not
not
gonna
gonna be
work.
able to move on.
Nope, it's not gonna work. Forgiveness
You know?
is the greatest part of it, and once you forgive, you will able to move forward.
Yeah.
You will got that peace. You will smile more. You will laugh more. You will
Oh,
You
speaking
would-
of laughter,
Every
Every day.
that's another thing. too.
every day. And Jerry, I mean, you got a good one
You
there 'cause
got-
he always laughing.
You got around. You got around.
Always laughing.
You got around.
Yeah.
You could get around family, and there is a lot of laughter. For that, whatsoever is your problem at that moment, when the laughter comes in, that kind of a back burner.
Yeah.
It kind of helps you. Now, when you go back to face the problem, the problem didn't totally go away.
Yeah.
But when you go back to face the problem, you see it in a different perspective. You will able to understand it a little bit more, knows what the problem is, how to get it resolved, and how to move forward. That's the thing, and it's the greatest thing you could get. And I will say this again to your neighbors around you. If you're at peace with the neighbors around you, at peace, because not all neighbors are good neighbors, but if you got neighbors them that you could surround you with peace and love and you care for each other, it's let me tell you something. It makes your home, your surrounding community feels better.
Extended family.
Yes, extended family, because we had extended family when we was in Montclair.
Yeah.
Comes like this summer, when summer month is out, we had a place. It was a seat. I was a grown man. My wife used to say that. I used to.
Big kid.
I was a big kid between the kids,
Yeah.
and the kids
All the
just.
kids in the neighborhood would come to our yard. And this one driving up and down the driveway on a scooter. I'm in the house. He comes with a broken. I mean, he had busted knees. I don't know. He out there on the scooter, running up and down the driveway with the kids.
You know,
But
it's,
see that you know you have okay. So life is what you make it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you have to enjoy every minute of every day. Don't wait. Okay, so today is my birthday, but okay, every day is my birthday. And every day if I can, I'm gonna do something that I enjoy. And it might be eating. I love the beach. I haven't gotten there yet, and this one is kind of falling short because he need to find me a beach to go to.
Like my wife, she loved the beach.
Oh, maybe. Well, you and I need to go. I love the beach. Oh my gosh, I can't get in. I've been to the beach in so long, but just enjoy life
Yeah.
and a lot of laughing. Have fun. Do simple, silly things. Life is not
Like
complicated. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
We have no
We have no problems, pillow fight, all that stuff down there.
Like we'll walk past each other and I poke him or I hit him on his butt. Hey. You know, I mean, just be silly.
Mm.
No,
That's it,
life
right?
is not that serious.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's not that serious. Have fun, and you can do anything. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. I mean, just live life. I mean, if you like to go to the park, go to the park and walk. Go to the beach. Go to the mountains. Go to a movie. I mean, child, just live life. That's all. Because tomorrow's not promised to
That's
any of
right.
us. We never know. You just never know. And now, every time you go out the door, I said, make sure you say "I love you" before you go out the door, because you don't know if they're coming back. You know, try not to be angry. You know, let me tell you another funny story.
We struggle with that. Because I need for him to hug me and kiss me before he leaves, you know,
Mhm.
and when he come home.
And you told him that.
It would frustrate him because he said, "Well, I'm coming back." Well, you never know.
Right.
Life is so. I want my last words to you to be, "I love you."
Right.
You know, to know that the last thing we shared was a hug. I mean, of course, you know, we hope that we come back and
Right,
that we
right.
live every day.
But you
we
hear a
just
lot of
never
stories.
did.
You hear a lot of stories of people saying, "We had an argument." You know,
And I didn't
we
know
don't-
that was going to be my last. Yeah.
And when they're gone, they're gone. It's over.
But
It's over.
I just got to bring back you remember 9/11 2000. A guy and his wife had an argument that morning. He works at the World Trade Center, and his wife still has that recording. She and him had an argument, and when he gets up there when the plane hits, he calls his wife and says to his wife, he says, "You are the best thing ever happened to me for the years that we married.
Yeah.
And I love you." She did not pick up the phone, but the message was there.
Yeah.
But when she looked and see exactly, she know what floor he was working on, and she see exactly. Do you see? That's what
Yeah.
this life is all about.
Yeah.
This life, and she has said I think my wife was the one who introduced it. Says I love you, and you know, she never says goodbye. She says, "See you later."
Yeah.
That's the word she always says. "See you later." Love you. See you later.
So and now, like, if he may want to say goodbye, but I say love you and I hang up real quick because
Jerry doesn't like saying
Yeah, I don't say goodbye
Yeah.
either.
See you later.
My
So-
son.
She
the
got used
second
to
one,
it now. She used
Yeah.
to it.
The
I just
second
say,
one, he's the one that started it. He said, "Don't say goodbye, say later."
yeah.
So we say later now, you know. But I don't even. Sometimes I don't even say that. I just say love you and I click.
Yeah, I think like I'm so used to it. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone like at work, and I'll just hang up on them,
Mm-hmm.
and I bet they'd be like, "Did he just hang up?" Yeah, I was done.
Oh, before they say go.
Yeah, because I don't say goodbye. So what am I gonna say?
Alright.
Yeah, like I'm done. Like.
I was gonna tell you all a story, but see, that's what happens when you get older. The story what I was gonna tell you, but anyway, it's okay.
But thank y'all for allowing us to come here, especially on your birthday in y'all beautiful home and do this recording. It's been a
We
great
appreciate it.
experience.
We appreciate it.
Well, hopefully it was helpful.
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
it
It
was.
was.
It
Getting
was.
to know y'all better and
Mhm.
listening to y'all stories and
Mhm.
learning a little more about you too.
But see, that's the wonderful thing. See, I love people. I love people. I love getting people together. That's that's why I do the travel and the cruises and stuff. I love putting people together because this is all we have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And we can learn. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. We can learn from a child.
yeah,
We just need to stop and listen and
Yeah.
talk to one another. The world will be a lot better place to live in.
yeah.
But just family, each other. That's all you got. It's worth more than all the tea in China. Worth more than all the gold. Yep. So
I agree. Thank you. Thank you for that.
anytime you're ready to go to the beach, let me know.
I'm ready today.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful.
Did you close that?
No, we still recording.
Oh, okay.
All
Is
right.
that what you're about to do?
No, you sound.
Yeah, you
Well,
ready?
this has been another great episode of
Learning love
Learning
together.
Love Together. See you next time.
Okay. Holder says later.